So I did my hair yesterday and have not done anything to it today. I feel like I didn't leave it in long enough or something because it's not as dark on my part as it usually is. You know what I think it is? I think it's because usually I start here and then I go back here, but occasionally this will grow out too much and so I'll start back there, and so that's what I did. So I haven't even like put highlights or anything around the frame of my face yet, just because I usually like to, like yesterday I gave myself a really good conditioning treatment, and then now I'm just gonna probably not wash it for a couple days, and then I will add some highlights just around my face. And I made this mistake of like cutting my sideburns a while back, and now I feel like I just always have to cut them. Also, look how my hair is growing because I'm finally leaving it alone. And so this is what, I mean, it looks so funny right here, just like this. This is how my hair looks before I put like any dry shampoo and stuff in it, because dry shampoo really helps me to get some volume. But when I deep condition it, it gets really flat and just really, it feels really, really good. Like it feels very healthy. But yeah, I'm gonna keep on letting it grow. So I just thought that I would put on some makeup right now, just because that's usually what I like to do first thing in the morning, is put on some makeup. Y'all, this is such a nice time of the day for me. Like I really love and I really look forward to coming in here, opening my window. I've got my window open. I don't have all my regular lights on right now, but I do have my window open right here. And so it might be a little bit more dim in here right now. But anyway, I just thought that I would put on some makeup. I'm wearing this little shirt. Y'all, my daughter came home wearing this shirt, and I was like, where did you get that shirt? Because this was one of my favorite bands, like in the 90s. Was it the 90s? Yeah. And I loved New Order. And this one is she cut it, so I'm not gonna show you the bottom, but it says Power, Corruption, and Lies. That was one of their albums. Ouch. And I loved it. Anyway, I just wore this to bed last night. Usually, you know, that's something that I definitely am gonna start changing about myself. I wanna buy some really cute pajamas because I just don't, usually I wear like an oversized t-shirt and leggings or shorts. Usually I wear my husband's t-shirts, but I put this one on last night and I was just like, I'm gonna keep it on even though it's cropped, but I have on some pretty high-waisted leggings. So anyway, this is what I slept in, and I just thought that was so cute. I was like, do you even know who New Order is? And she didn't. I'm like, what made you pick that shirt? She liked the flowers on the front. And so I was like, okay, well, she was gonna throw it away. So I said, here, I'll take it, even though it's cropped. I'm never gonna wear it outside of the house. Even though it is cropped enough to where I could wear like jeans with it, because it comes up high enough, like if I wanted to wear high-waisted jeans or something like that. So anyway, yeah, let's put on some makeup. Now, I'm not gonna really talk about anything that I'm using. I'm just gonna put on some makeup. It's so funny, like usually I will just try a different concealer that I have. Like I am not in love with any concealer. Like I wish there was just one out there that I just absolutely loved. This is just the e.l.f. Camo. I think it's called the Camo Concealer. I'll put it in the description box if you're interested. But this is one, I think I might have gotten it too light. I don't mind it being a little extra bright because I am gonna put a little bit of foundation over it. But I literally just like barely leave little prints on my face because, you know, the heavier we go with our makeup as we age, I don't care what anybody says, it just shows so much texture. You can probably see so much texture in my skin right now because I don't have all my, you know, wonderful lights on. And I'll tell you what, y'all, you'd be surprised at how much just good lights can alter somebody's look. You know, I'm gonna use this one. I'm gonna use the Maybelline. This one is my favorite foundation. It's called the Lumi Matte, and I'm gonna use 220. You will be so shocked at how much lights can, especially if you have like a ring light in front of you and two box lights on the side, you can look 10 years younger. You literally can because it's so forgiving. Also, if you sit in front of a window that has full light, like this one does not, because I have two big oak trees in my front yard and one is right there, just like kind of blocking the light, but I still get some light in my, right in through this window. Just not like, I wish it was super bright. Like sometimes I see women who always only film in window light, and they have no obstructions, nothing's blocking, you know, the sun from coming in. And that is the best lighting. I think that natural lighting, especially when you just have it just at the right time of the day, you know, is a better filter than makeup, than studio lights, all of it. I think natural light is the best lighting at the right time of the day. If it's at the wrong time of the day, or if it's hitting you in the wrong direction, then it could be your biggest enemy. Okay. Oh shoot, oh no, I took all my brushes in there. Okay, uh-oh. I took all of my brushes in there to wash. And so, you know what, we're gonna use this one today. I like it. This is a BK Beauty brush. I don't know if you guys, if any of y'all out there have kept up with this like Idaho 4 murder case with Brian Koberger, and then the 4 students that he murdered in their little house off campus. Like they're college students, but they all had a house off campus. And the people that were murdered were Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan. And oh my gosh, sometimes I have to like stop myself from keeping up with stuff, because it can be so disturbing to me. And I can't believe that there are people out there like that can go into somebody's house and commit 4 murders in such a short period of time like that. The whole story is just chilling, really. Whenever I moved out of my house and I moved to Austin, originally my friend and I, we lived in an apartment and I loved it. It was just she and I, and it was just a really nice apartment. I don't even know why we moved. We just decided, I think it was maybe her brother was moving to Austin, and I kind of grew up with both of them, so he was like a brother to me too. So me and her name is Trisha, her brother Bobby, and then another girl named Amy, we all moved into this really nice 5-bedroom house. It was huge. It was 2-story. It was beautiful. And we just felt so cool because we lived in a big 5-bedroom house. And me and her had bathrooms in our bedrooms, and we had the upstairs, and then all the other bedrooms were downstairs. But because there were so many of us living there, we had to trust that everybody was gonna lock the front door, lock the back door. We had a sliding back door also. Well, one time I remember me and my boyfriend, my husband now, but he was my boyfriend at the time, we had gotten in an argument or something. I can't remember what, but I remember we left upset with each other, and I went home and I ended up going out that night with my friends and stuff. And I came home and I went to bed. I went to sleep, washed my face and everything and went to sleep. Well, I was asleep, and all of a sudden I felt like a presence in my room. I felt somebody sit on my bed, and I woke up, and it was him. It was my boyfriend. It was my husband now. He was sitting on the edge of my bed, and I was like, oh, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? And he was like, I missed you. And anyway, we ended up making up. But the scariest part about that is that I was like, how did you get in? And he's like, I just walked in through the front door. And it's funny because whenever you live with several people, you are kind of used to seeing random people kind of coming in and out of your house, especially if your friends have friends, your roommates have friends. And so I guess when he came through the front door, nobody knew. And not just that, the bedrooms were kind of away from the front door. And so he was able just to come in my house, come all the way up the stairs. They went like this and then went like, like they go up and then turn and then go back up this way. Went all the way up the stairs, came to my room, sat on my bed, and nobody knew. Nobody knew that he had entered the house. And so whenever I heard this story about him just entering the house like that, I was like, wow. I mean, it could happen to anybody. It could happen, especially if you're living with several roommates and you have one specific person that goes and makes sure that the door's locked all night. Not just that, we all get home at different times. I gotta keep on putting on makeup. So I remember when this story first broke and people were acting like, how did he just get in the house without people, noticing? And I'm like, it's really not that difficult, especially when there's a lot of people living in the same house, coming home at different times and having different circle of friends and boyfriends and girlfriends and all that stuff. Now this lip liner that I just put on, I showed it to you recently. It's called Good and Plenty. It's made by ColourPop. And it's just like this rose color, and it is so pretty. It's so, so creamy. And I just love this. I don't typically wear colors like this, but I'm gonna do it with just kind of it's not like a real nude, so it's still gonna look pretty rosy like this. And I don't know why, I never just put on my lipstick first, but for some reason, I'm like, I'm gonna put on my lipstick first. So we are gonna put on some eyeshadow, and I'm gonna use the ColourPop eyeshadow that I showed y'all recently in one of my hauls. It's all I've been using ever since I got it. And I'm really just going with like mauve-y colors, which is not typically me either. Let's use this real light mauve. It's called Stone Age. I'm just gonna put that everywhere. But anyway, whenever you think about like this story, it's so scary to think that there are people out there like that are just walking among us. And we don't know if that boy had ever, I call him a boy, he's like 30 years old, but still a boy to me. We don't know if he's ever committed a murder before. I mean, you're telling me that the first murder he commits, he decides to take out 4 students in 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes. I mean, God, it is so crazy. I can't even imagine the fear and the adrenaline and just just not knowing what the heck is going on. Like, I'm pretty sure the 2 girls that were upstairs, they were asleep. And it reminds me of me and my friend Trisha, whenever we moved away from home. Whenever I first moved there, I didn't even have an apartment because she was waiting for her lease to go up. And then she and I were gonna get a place together, but I moved there because I wanted to go ahead and start working. And my first job was I was a cart girl at a golf course. One of the best jobs I've ever had in my life. Like, if you are a student or if you have a daughter and you want her to love her job and make a ton of money, she should work as a golf cart girl. It's so relaxing and it's so like beautiful. I mean, golf courses are really beautiful. And then you have all men, usually your clientele is typically all men, but they are such great tippers, and they slowly throughout the day get a little bit more buzzed as the day goes on, and then they just tip bigger and bigger as the day goes on. Anyway, my point to that story was that my friend Trisha and I, whenever I first moved up there and we worked on the golf course, as we were waiting, I think we had like a month and a half or something that we were waiting for her lease to go up so that she and I could move in together. She and I literally slept in the same room in a twin bed. Like, not even a full bed, not not a king bed. She was my best friend from high school. We had slept at each other's houses, you know, all through middle school and high school, and we didn't think anything of it. So whenever I heard that those 2 girls were like, you know, in the same room and they were like best friends since middle school or something like that, I just thought, oh my God, it's so sad. But what's kind of sad about it is that I keep seeing on TikTok and stuff, like questioning the 2 surviving roommates as if they are somehow involved or they're villains in some way because they didn't react like other people. Nobody assumes that an actual murder is going on inside their house, you know? Not just that, I'm sure they were all intoxicated, all of them. All of them had like gotten home so late. I'm sure that they were all intoxicated. You know, you're not thinking in your right mind, especially at that age. They were probably just, you know, drunk out of their minds. They'd taken Ubers home and stuff like that and got Uber Eats. You know you're probably really drunk when you are ordering food at like 3 or 4 in the morning. And it's just so funny to me how people will speculate on things that happened, and then those speculations will almost become facts. Even though, like, some people were saying that the roommate that saw him walk by, that like shortly after that she ran down to the downstairs roommate's room. And I don't think that that's in any of the court documents. It's not in any of the affidavits, which means that somebody just speculated that that is what happened, and then it circulates so much, just like a rumor, and then that becomes like a fact. Anyway, it's just all this victim blaming, and it's so sad to me. Now, if you do know that in the court records that it does say that she went down to to Bethany's room, y'all, she was 19 years old. Like whenever I lived in that house, had I heard something weird, I might have texted and been like, you know, Trisha, did you hear that? Tried to text all my other friends downstairs and they didn't answer. And if my friend was like, come over to my room, I would be like, oh my God, okay. Because I would be, you know, nervous or scared. And if everything turned out to be okay and we didn't hear anything else, I would think, okay, everything's fine. You know, I would never, ever have assumed that a murder took place in my house, you know, but everybody's trying to act like this poor little girl. Trust me, she's scarred for life. She's never gonna feel safe asleep in the safety of her own home again. I mean, she's gonna be just forever scarred from that experience. And it's crazy because when something happens like this, like we naturally want to know the whys. We want to know how he knew these girls, why he targeted them, what was his motive. And the fact that I feel like they should be required in some way. Like if you don't want the death penalty, you need to tell us what the motive is. You know, there has to be some way to get that information out of criminals that commit these heinous crimes, because how are we going to move forward in trying to stop these situations from happening? The scariest part is that we don't know what people are capable of. You know, some people are just psychopaths, sociopaths, and they don't have empathy and they don't care about the feelings of other people. They're just trying to satisfy a feeling that they want to have. You know, God, it's so creepy. It's so creepy. It's just so creepy when you think of like the Ted Bundys of the world, and especially Ted Bundy. That's bizarre because he actually had a wife and child while he was committing all of these murders. And it's like, wow, what messes somebody up so much that they feel like they just want to take other people's lives, you know? Y'all, something that I have been avoiding lately is wearing a lot of mascara, because somehow I ripped out like half my eyelashes on this eye. And so when I do put on mascara, it just kind of accentuates that. And then I don't even want to wear like fake lashes because I feel like it's going to make them weaker. And so anyway, I'm just going to be using some eyeliner and just a little mascara, but I don't even think I'm going to curl my eyelashes. Okay, I think that's all the eyeliner that I need right now. You know what? I kind of prefer, look, you could see my shadow over there because I have the light coming in. I kind of prefer this lighting. It's very natural. You look at, you can see you see how now you can see like just my lines on my forehead, just this close. Look at this. All the crow's feet and stuff like that. That's reality. That is reality for a 52-year-old woman, right? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and change the topic because that topic will bring me down. But anyway, there's this new trend on TikTok, and it's not that new, but they're saying like, they might make a video and they'll say, you know, I promise I'm not gonna get my feelings hurt, but how old do you think I look? And they'll say, I don't have a filter on, I barely have any makeup on, how old do I look? And then people will come in the comment section and say how old they look. Or there's another one that says, this is what 50 looks like this is what it looks like to be in your 50s. And y'all, the comment section, unless they are an anomaly, you know, and they are just like, they look like they're 20, the whole comment section is basically like, oh my gosh, you know, you look so much older than your actual age. You know, if the girl's 52, then somebody will say, I'm 52 and you look way older than me. You look like you could be my mom or my grandma. And then what's so funny is that whenever I click on that person's picture to look at them, I'm like, what? Like in my mind, I'm thinking, you actually look older than this person, or you look the same age. And it's so funny how people are just, they have no problem going out on the internet and just criticizing the heck out of other women. And it's usually women doing it to women. It's rarely men doing it to women. I feel like women are women's biggest enemy half the time. And it's so disturbing. It's so disheartening too. And the sad part is that at first I was enjoying this little trend because I was thinking, I want to see what other women look like in their 50s. And I thought, wow, how neat. Like we all age differently, and it all comes down to our lifestyle, our choices, our genetics. You know, there's so many different things that play a role in the way that we age, our stress level, you know, just the type of life that we've lived. And I thought it was so interesting just to see other women in their 50s until you would just read all the negative comments. It was like all these women would come into this person's comment section just trying to tear them apart, make them feel so old looking and so ugly and so, you know, weathered or whatever. And there's just, it's such a catch-22 when it comes to aging. And they say, oh, aging gracefully. The only women who are kind of admired for aging naturally and gracefully are the ones that still look youthful. Those are the ones who are admired. It's not the ones that actually just aged gracefully and look their age, you know? And that's the sad part, because we want to pretend like, oh, aging gracefully is the best part. No, it's the fact that they still look really good for their age. And that is why people are like, oh, look at her, she aged gracefully and she's gorgeous. They're not doing that about the one who aged gracefully and, you know, lived a hard life. I feel like so many women are afraid to admit that you would like to look younger. Like you loved the way that you looked at, let's say 30. For me, it was 30 was my favorite age. And I will easily, happily admit that yes, if I could snap my fingers right now, I would love to look like I was 30 years old. Would I like to be 30 again? Of course not, because I might not have the life that I have right now with my husband and my children and, you know, just, you know, my lifestyle. And so I would never want to change. I would never want to go back in time. Would I want to look 30 again? Of course I would. Why wouldn't I? I loved it the way that I looked back then. And I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think for the most part of our lives, we're used to looking at ourselves a certain way. And then at a certain age, it really starts to change. I don't think there's anything wrong with going like, no, I prefer how I looked, you know, before my eyelids were sagging, before my brows were drooping, before I started getting jowls or, you know, just all this and just stuff that's going on the side of our necks, you know, getting loose and stuff like that. Like, why do we have to embrace that and enjoy it? And then people will say, oh, well, you know, age is a privilege not given to many. I'm like, that's not the argument here. Nobody's saying I'd rather die than look a certain age. We're just saying I prefer the way that I looked at a certain age, and there's nothing wrong with that. But then there's the whole argument like, why can't women just age gracefully? And, you know, we live in a patriarchy. I'm like, okay, but it's women who keep this going. It's women who criticize other women just whatever way that they choose to age. You know, it's women that are the most critical of other women, period. End of discussion. That's just how it is. That's what I see online every single day. When you go to the comment sections, of any woman that has any level of confidence, but if she's not absolutely 100% beautiful, she will be so criticized in that comment section. And it's disgusting because it's coming from other women. It's not coming from men. I mean, there are some men in there, but it's predominantly women criticizing other women. And it's very disheartening. But I saw this video the other day, and she was commenting on these videos where women say like, how old do I look? Or this is what 50s looks like. And she was talking about the comments in the comment section from other women who are very critical, and they're saying like, wow, you look this age and I look this age. And she said, you know, once I started doing, which is what I did automatically, you feel so compelled to click on that person's picture to be like, does she look older than you? And when she doesn't, and they look the same age, or even this one looks older, it's almost like, are we all delusional here? Do we all think that we look younger than we do? And we're saying these things to other people. And she was saying that even her herself at her age, when she goes to a reunion or something like that, she looks around and she's like, wow, all these girls look so much older than me. And then she's thinking, but do they? Or do I just think I look younger, but I'm not seeing myself like other people see me, you know? And that's a really good question. But it's funny because I'm like the complete opposite. I never, ever, you will never hear me going around being like, wow, I look so much younger than my age. I think that I look my age. I think that I absolutely look my age, but I've taken care of myself well. I don't think anybody out there who meets me or sees me is thinking that I'm in my 30s. I know that that's not true. So I'm just trying to look as good as I can for the age that I am, there's always telltale signs. I can spot. I can even age fast forward on somebody. Like I can look at somebody who's in their 30s and know exactly what they're gonna look like in their 40s and 50s because I've been through it and I've seen the changes that happen, and sometimes they happen just so fast, right? So I'm gonna change the topic here real fast. I'm gonna change my eating habits. I really have to. I have been eating more carbs than usual. And you know, before I say any of this, carbs are not the enemy. Like carbs don't keep weight on you. It just depends on what you're mixing with your carbs. Like a baked potato is not fattening in and of itself. But when you add the butter and when you add the sour cream and the bacon and all the other good stuff, you're adding fat to something that was once not fatting at all. So, you know, and that's how I stayed thin most of my life, was eating almost all carbs, but I would have a baked potato and I'd put just a little butter, just enough so that I had a little bit of flavor, butter flavor in my bites. I don't even think it would be a tablespoon. It was way less. And I would always use like reduced fat butter and salt. And that was it. That to me was delicious. That's not gonna put weight on you. What's gonna put weight on you is when you add all the fat that's in the bacon, all the fat that's in the sour cream, all the fat that's in tons of like real butter. And so anyway, but the reason that I feel like I need to avoid certain carbs, not all carbs, not fruits. Oh my gosh, I can eat as many fruits and as many vegetables, and it actually makes me feel great. But when I start going back to eating things like rice, baked chips, noodles, you know, stuff like that, I start to feel aches and pains in my body. Like whenever I was on the keto diet, I never woke up feeling my hands. Right now, like the other day before yesterday, I ate a bunch of baked chips. I had a big thing of rice and other stuff for dinner. And the next morning I woke up like, oh my God, I could feel my hands. They just ached. I could feel like my body was just a little bit achy. I think it creates inflammation in my body. Certain carbs do that to me. And so I've got to get really strict. I'm going to get really strict here real soon and yesterday was day one. I ate all the fruits and vegetables that I want, and then mainly just meats and proteins and stuff like that. I just avoided any of the bready, starchy carbs. And this morning I already woke up feeling a little bit better. And I know it's just going to get better from here. But I have to do that because when I wake up aching like that, I feel old. I feel like, wow, this cannot keep going in this direction because no, thank you. You know, I don't want to feel that. I have started stretching again. Yesterday I started stretching, and that's another thing. Actually, it was the day before yesterday. After you stretch for the very first time, you will wake up and it'll feel like you got hit by a truck. That's going to be one of my upcoming videos. I'm going to talk all about that. So I think there's a truck driving really slow right there. I think I'm going to stop here. And I really, you know, it's just real subtle. I really like the mauve, like eyeshadow and stuff. And a little bit of a darker lip. It's all different. All of this is different than I usually, you know, wear it. And let's see. I haven't even fixed my hair. Like I just slept on it. I deep conditioned it yesterday, which is why it feels so like just soft and kind of flat. And then I just slept on it. So it's all kind of, whenever I sleep on it, it all goes out like that, which I don't mind, you know. But right now it's just really, really flat. And I don't typically just like my hair real flat like that around my face. It's not that bad. I need to go fix it, put some dry shampoo, stuff like that. I want to show you my clean dog now that he's clean. Samson, look how cute he is. Oh my goodness. Look at you. Look at your blue eyes. He's got the bluest eyes. And it looks like he's wearing winged eyeliner, right? His name is Samson. You've gotten so big and you're so fluffy now. Hi. He loves affection. Like every single morning, I like kind of crawl over him and just smother him with kisses all over his face, all over his neck. So romantic. I don't want to do it right now because this lipstick will transfer and like stain. I did that the other day. I accidentally stained his forehead with my lipstick. Is that car? Uh-oh. It's crazy eyes. Okay, so I am a 52-year-old woman with a regular butt.
We do still exist out there, right? Like those of us with regular butts. And the only reason I say that is because every time I see advertisement for these jeans or advertising for these jeans, it's always like a beautiful 20 or 30-year-old girl with just like a gorgeous like bubble butt, you know? And they're usually like, oh my God, look at how great these jeans make my butt look. And I'm like, I think it's your butt. I think your butt makes your butt look good. Your butt makes the jeans look good, right? So I just kind of wanted to show you what they look like on a regular butt. So this is what they look like on a regular butt. Now they still are very flattering, I think, because the pockets are pretty high, and then they have these like little darts right there. So they kind of like lift the booty, but they're not gonna give you like a bubble butt. Like look from the side. Like I obviously, and I know somebody's gonna leave me a comment like, oh my God, your butt's so flat, but that's okay. Anyway, I know that I do not have a dramatic like lumbar curvature. I think that's so gorgeous on women. But so they're still gonna flatter your butt, but they're not gonna give you a butt. And I'm okay with that. So anyway, they are very high-waisted. They're very stretchy. They do have a raw hem. I did want to say, if you're gonna order these, you should order one size down. These are 24, I typically wear 25. And as you can see, there's no gap whatsoever, but look at this. Like that's how much stretch they have, like all over. And they almost feel like you're wearing almost like a mix between a jogger and a jean. They're super, super comfortable. I could probably do a cartwheel in them right now. So anyway, yeah, very, very cute, very flattering, and